Hi, my name is John Halloran, and I'm going to teach you how to change a word's pronunciation if you're using the Empower software. So you're using Words for Life, you have the Empower software working, and you have a word that when you say it or spell it, it doesn't sound right. It just happens to be that if I spell my name in the device, and that's how it's actually spelled, and then you speak it, it says hell or an. Well, that would make my dad really upset because he really likes it to be pronounced Halloran. So anyway, so it could be something small like that. Sometimes you could do a common word. I know in the old days, if you spelled the word taco on some voices, it would come out taco. So if anything like that ever happens to you where you spell something correctly and you go to listen to it or you spell it and it doesn't sound right, this is how you fix it. And then I'm going to give you two other uses of the pronunciation dictionary. So it's really easy when you're using Empower. You hit the menu button, you go to the toolbox, and it always starts right where you need to be at user settings. So you're already at user settings. You go over to voice, which makes perfect sense right here. And then right here, it says edit pronunciation. So you can't miss it. I mean, it's right here. So right here, you hit edit pronunciation. And then you look at this here. You can see this is where you're going to enter the word, and this is where you're going to enter the phonetic spelling. So this is what it's going to, how it's going to be spelled, and this is how it's going to sound. And there's no right answer here. There can be more than one answer. So let's start by putting my last name in here where it says enter word. I take my finger and I touch right there, and then you would probably touch on your keyboard or on your device. You would spell that word, and it doesn't matter whether you use capitalization or any of that. That's kind of nice. It doesn't matter about any of that. It just sees this combination of letters, and it doesn't matter if they're capitalized. Now you hit finished. Now I see my word here. That's the word I'm going to pronounce. Now I touch over here where it says enter phonetic spelling. And I'm going to do Haloran just to try it. And there could be, now I'm going to touch up here to hear it. Well, let's do finished. Apologize. That used to work, but now I have to hit this play button. And don't worry about that. Don't just touch it. Don't skip the touch part. Just hit finish and then touch right here to check it. Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad. Listen again. All right. And if that was wrong, I would touch here and go back in and change it again. So maybe I had to do an IN instead. I could hit finished, then I could listen to it again. Hey, actually, I like that better. So once you play with it and adding spaces, sometimes you touch, sometimes you might have to do this little trick. You do HALL space ORSSIN. A lot of times a space really makes a nice change. Nope, that didn't work. So I'd have to get back in there and change it one more time. And now I listen to it. Oh, I love that. And so would my dad. So now I hit close, finished, and exit. And from now on, if I ever spell it or have it stored, it'll see it and pronounce it right. It'll show up on my screen. So if I go in here and I spell Halloran correctly now, and I say touch up here, it says it right and looks right. So that's the fix. All right, and I'm gonna give you two more uses of this feature, which I really hope you'll stick with me and watch this. When I used to do live therapy, I call it live, when I actually had a caseload of kids, one of my favorite things was to try to teach them about humor. And these kids and adults love being funny, and they love humor, and humor helps you learn. So one of the tricks I would do is, only if it's appropriate for your child and they're in on it and they get it. I'm not doing anything inappropriate here, but I would go in there, and usually I used mom and dad, and I would go in here, and when I was teaching them how to spell mom, MOM, and usually I had my speech on, so I should have changed that where the speech was on, because I like that when they're learning to spell, so they hear it say MOM, which you can change. But anyway, after they would do that, and then they would touch it, see how it says mom? Right now, when they touch their speak display, it says mom. Well, I would use the pronunciation dictionary to make this a little more fun. I'd go into the pronunciation dictionary, go to the toolbox again. You're at voice, or you're at the user settings, go to voice, then go to edit pronunciation right here. This is all the same, but now you're going to enter MOM, and you're going to say finished, and then you're going to say this, pronounce it as booger or whatever you want, booger head. And now, sure enough, you listen to it. Well, that sounds pretty good. So I hit add. Then I hit close, finished. And from now on, whether they do it in the talking mode or they go to the spelling mode and they go home and show mommy that they can spell her name, and then they hit speak display, and you get the humor. Now, what's really nice is to get rid of it when you've had your humor and it's time to move on. And now, when you go to your toolbox, user settings, voice, edit pronunciation, look how nice this is. You just touch this X and that deletes it. So it's not a hard thing to add or change in them, kind of quickly in therapy to make something fun for one of the other educators to mess with their name or something or a word just to have fun. Now I'm going to give you one more use of the pronunciation dictionary, and that's as an encoding method. You might think about using abbreviation expansion as a form of encoding vocabulary. So what I said was abbreviation expansion. JK equals just kidding, or LOL equals laughing out loud. So it's real simple. You do the exact same steps. You go to the toolbox, you go to the voice, you go to edit pronunciation, enter a word. I know I'm going kind of fast now because we've done this 3 times. You hit JK, finished, pronounced as just kidding. And then you say finished. Now this one would probably stay in there forever. And from now on, you close and finished, and then exit. From now on, if you go to spell mode and you type JK and listen, you got it. So now you have 3 nice uses for changing a pronunciation of a word, making it sound right, it's having some fun with humor with some names and words, and using abbreviation expansion. I hope that helps. Let us know if there's anything we can do to make this work for you and your team better.